Hey there, good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. We are here for an episode of What's New. Comes out at 8 o'clock on Saturdays every week now. I'm trying to do it. Got a good one this week. It's Deep Purple's new album, which is called Equals One. Came out on July 19th. Just recently, so not too long ago. They recorded it at Noble Studios in Toronto. They had Headline Studios in Harston, and SMB, Chameleon in Hamburg, and Ocean's Way in Nashville, Tennessee. About 52 minutes long. On the Car Music and Adele AG label, and production by Bob Ezrin. Yes, the Bob Ezrin, the one who did Destroyer and many others, but that's the guy. Okay, appearing with Deep Purple as a member of Deep Purple, we have Ian Gillan on lead and backing vocals, Simon McBride, who comes in and takes over guitar and additional guitars as well here, Roger Glover on bass and shaker, Ian Pace on the drums, and Don Airy on the keyboards and orchestral arrangements. Okay, guesting on this album, Bob Ezrin. He does some backing vocals and tambourine on the first track. Nashville Music Scoring Orchestral. They were on the sixth track. Patricia Shirley Okangini, I think that's how you say it, and Camille Harrison, both doing backing vocals on tracks number 11 and again on track number 13. So that's the technical side of it. Now we're going to talk about the musical side of it. So there are 13 songs on this album. Probably normal for a modern album. Most albums now have anywhere between 13 and 16 songs that they put out. Albums are usually around 50 to 60 minutes in length. It's not like it was in the 70s where you were considered pushing it if you went for 45 minutes. And so I'm kind of used to that setting. So for me, it's been a bit of an adjustment to get used to longer albums. I tend to start to fade by about the 40-minute mark. But I've gotten better, actually. Some of these albums have made me get a little bit stronger in listening. So I think my average, or my my attention span has probably gone up about 5 minutes since I started doing this. Okay, so you've got basically 13 tracks, all pretty solid. I had the first 4 tracks I gave over a 6, and the last track I gave over a 6. The rest of it was pretty much 5s and a half. Yeah, I think the middle part of the album's a little bit unmemorable, but the top part and the last song I think were very good. So it starts out with a song called Show Me, which I think is the best track on the album. You got that scraping, clear sounding guitar opening. Vocals are strong, classic sounding. The song is fast paced, very purplish. It has all the things and goes with my shirt, the Deep Purple sound going on there. And catchy hooks, lots of good keyboard parts. And it has a bit of a commercial sounding, but the production is really clear on this album, I think. A bit on the side, the second track. I like this one a little bit less, but not too much less. It's got a nice hard racing opening, heavy parts, catchy hooks. Vocals are deep, but definitely Gillan-like. There's a catchy solo that's pretty fast paced. I thought was pretty good as well. The next song, Sharpshooter, pretty much the same, heavy riffing, almost like something early on that you would get from Deep Purple in their rock era and so on. Gillan very nasally but perfect in all of his sounds here. Solo is actually really catchy. Some Purple-like riffs and some catchy hooks. So they're all pretty solid here up to this point. And then you get to Portable Door, another solid song, catchy hooks, catchy keyboards, another strong vocal performance here, another heavy melodic guitar solo, just fantastic. And it starts to drift a bit. So the next 4 to 5, or maybe as far as I think I got like 7 songs here, 8 songs. They're good. They're not bad, but there's nothing outstanding about any of them. Nothing really memorable about any of them, but I'll do a little bit on them anyways. So you got Old Fangled Thing. It's got some interesting parts to it. I like the bobbing style of guitar playing, where it's kind of like that kind of thing going on. Vocals are strong, a little bit whiny here. He does do a kind of a voice vocal type, talking type thing on this particular track too. The keyboards are kind of old-fashioned sounding, so that's probably the reason why this dropped a bit. It had a little bit too much of that old-sounding keyboard part. I thought this was one of the least well-done vocal performances by Gillan on this particular track. If I Were You, it's like a slow melodic opening, whining vocals, bluesy, almost a ballad-like song, which I didn't really care for this tune. Pictures of You, a little bit better. I liked it. I think the reason it jumped up a little bit here is because it had a video accompaniment with it, which was quite good. It showed all the members. God, those guys are old looking, man. But he still got the great part. He still got that voice. He still has that, and it's lots of catchy riffs here. So it's not a bad tune. I'm Saying Nothing, which is the next track. Catchy keys, bass, heavy, bouncy kind of feeling to it as well. Vocals are standard here. Heavy, strong solo from the guitar and from the keyboards, both doing solos on this track. Lazy Sod. This one, I passed it, but maybe it might be the weakest song on the album. It's a bluesy song, reminiscent of Purple's early days, but it's got that kind of woke feeling to it that you know. I just feel like it's a little political, too political for music for me. But anyways, probably the weakest song on the album. Now You're Talking, so it jumps up a little bit better here, a little bit more faster pace. He's got that whiny sound that really suits him going forward here. Some heavy guitar riffing, and the solo is absolutely killer. No Money to Burn. This is the next track. Heavy crunching keyboard bass opening, really good bluesy melodic track, but not terribly memorable, you know. I'll Catch You. Another melodic, slow rhythm part with a solo that's melodic, slide sounding type guitar here. I think this one's a little bit on the, it's not a ballad or anything, but it's a little on the too slow side for me. And then you get the last track, which is called Bleeding Obvious. Upbeat, catchy guitar opening. The guitar gets more riffy. There's a lot of catchy pickup parts here going on, really good. Classic sound. The vocals are great, are strong, and lots of great instrumentation on this particular track. I think I ended off the album with a positive feel for it. So overall, I'd say the album definitely has a very Deep Purple sound to it, classic Deep Purple sound to it. If I didn't know who was singing it, I was just listening to it on the radio, I would know right away who it was. Ian Gillan's voice still sounds a lot like Ian Gillan. He just doesn't do those high screams anymore, probably because he can't, but it still sounds like him. The guitar and the keyboard still have that Purple sound to them. The music is catchy, riffing, the lyrics are kind of a bit saucy in their way. Yeah, so it's definitely Deep Purple sounding, absolutely killer. I think the guitar player slotted right in there really well, and doing a good job making himself right at home in Deep Purple. I think it was great. Thought the bass and the drums were solid. Keyboards, typical Purple keyboards. I've never been a big fan of the sound of the keyboards in Deep Purple, and it has nothing to do with their abilities. I think both Don Airey and John Lord before him were both great keyboardists. I'm just not crazy about that Hammond organ sound with Deep Purple, especially with Deep Purple. Some other bands too, but this one definitely falls within that. So there you go. That's it. Deep Purple equals 1, their new album. It's just come out. Would I buy it? I'm not sure yet. I think I'd like to hear it a couple more times. Maybe more at leisure than the difference between listening to it when you're listening to it to do a recording for a video and to listen to it at a casual, it's less stressful, it's less, I'm not having to focus as much. I'll let it like kind of absorb its way into me. Whereas when you're listening to it, if it's not keeping up with what you originally like, it'll lose ground very quickly, especially in the middle of most albums. In this case, it was pretty mediocre in the middle part of the album, but the ends were both excellent. So there you go. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe. Any comments about the album, if you've had a chance to listen to it, let me know what you think of it. If there's anything else that you want to put down there, you can do that. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. And we'll be back next Saturday night with another another What's New. So take care and have yourself a good day. Goodbye.